feel like I'm watching someone else's life on TV. I feel like that I'm on an episode of Insecure in Twilight. This is my response when people ask me how I'm holding up since my sister's passing. And the best way I know how to run away from my problems is to book a flight to the tropics. And that's what I did. I decided to book a flight to Cartagena, Colombia. And this is me getting off the flight. And I decided I wanted to take this moment to pretend, right, that all my problems disappeared. With that being said, here's my tips for you when you're in Cartagena, Colombia. I will say that I think a lot of people, I saw a lot of TikToks, I saw a lot of videos, and within those videos, I feel like there were some points that people weren't realistic to the idea of what you should expect in Cartagena. So I wanted to give that realistic expectations. One thing I did want to mention is that I didn't get a chance to actually learn the history surrounding this wall of Cartagena. I do plan on the next time learning the history of the wall. Where you should stay. You should stay in Estelar Resort. That resort is kind of in the center of everything in Cartagena. This is a Spanish-owned resort. However, it is a luxury and a pretty nice resort. I will say that it is next to the Hyatt, so we got to see, people from the Hyatt, other people coming in from the Hyatt. This, I think it has 51 or 52 floors. They have a rooftop bar. We did get a chance, I think, two of the nights go to the rooftop bar. But some quick highlights about this. I think we spent around 300, I want to say 300 for 4 nights, which isn't a bad price. 300 per person. Let me clear that up. $300 per person for 4 nights, which isn't a bad expense. When we got there, pretty much they need to see your passport. They gave us a mimosa. So we just kind of waited and, was in a lounge area waiting. And here I am taking videos. They actually also have a beautiful pool that you guys will see in a second. And there's our mimosa. They also have a restaurant on the 10th floor. And that restaurant we visited a couple times. The pool also has a restaurant attached to it. Where you can get like short, like kind of bar items. The pool also has a bar as well. And our room was really nice. What I will say is that when you are going to your room, you have to make sure you have your key card. And sometimes it gets confusing on the elevator of how it should work because it's basically telling you should go between elevator A, B, or C. And sometimes what we learned is to get to the pool, you can only get to the pool through these elevators and not the main elevators that's on the other side of us. So there was a little confusion with the elevators. However, this was our hotel room. As you guys can see, it was pretty cool, pretty basic. I will say it had 2 beds and the view was so pretty. The view of the water is just really, really pretty. They do come in your room every day to clean up. So we did have someone clean up every day and give us towels, which was a nice addition where we didn't have to call every time to ask for towels. And this is our view. It was so beautiful just to be there and just to, every morning I would wake up and look at that view. I do wish we had a balcony. This is us on our way to lunch, and this is where we got lunch. This is the restaurant on the 10th floor. We went and got lunch there, and their food at Cartagena was great all over. After that, we decided to go to the beach, get some beach time in, and then we decided to go to the pool. This is the pool area, which kind of oversees the beach, and it was so pretty and gorgeous. So we just sat in the pool for a second. They were playing really good music. So we sat in there, and then as the music is going, so it turned later during the night, as you guys can see. So we decided to take our time and just dance and have a good time. This is our first night in Cartagena. Later that night, we decided to go to the balcony, go to the Sky Lounge, and went to the bar and it was really nice. So day 2, we decided to eat breakfast at our hotel since it was included in the pricing. So we decided to eat the breakfast there. The breakfast is actually just pretty decent. And then afterwards, we decided to go to the mud spa. I will tell you that we had initially what was on our itinerary. We wanted to go to the beach club. However, what we realized is that we were not going to have enough time to spend in Cartagena itself if we went to the beach club, which would take a ferry. So we decided to change our itinerary and go to the mud spa this particular day. What I will tell you about the mud spa is that it is really nice. However, there are a few things you need to know. People will ask you, they will be hassling you. Everything costs, right? So the massage you're getting costs. For them to help you take pictures, it costs. So make sure that you're aware of it. So we're heading up to the mud spa. We had no idea what we was getting ourselves into. I will say that these steps are really, really steep. So be careful when you are reaching up to these steps. We get up here and then we get to see there's all these people in there, beautiful black girls in there as well. But we're kind of like looking like, how are we going to get in there? So, of course, it took me being the first person to get inside. And I'm not going to lie, it's the most gooey feeling you will feel. It is very uncomfortable at first, but then you get used to it. And you can float in it. You will never feel the bottom. So I will give you that. You will never feel the bottom. They will massage you. Listen, those men was in there getting their feels. At this point, I'm like, I'm already there. So I let them feel and massage. And then afterwards, they rinse you off. This is me after the fact that they had, it was 2 women. They take you to the river and then they fully rinse the mud off of you. So this is us just walking around the small town where the mud spa is at. Again, we had people following us because they wanted to make sure that they got paid. So just keep in mind that you are going to have to make sure you bring cash with you because you are going to have to tip these people. I would tell you, of course, don't, tip what you want to tip. But it was 2 of us, and so we essentially gave each of them, I think, like 20 pesos, 10 pesos each. So they got 20 pesos in total. Each person got 20 pesos in total. So again, just keep in mind that's them following us, as you guys can see. Keep in mind that they want their money, so make sure that you give them and that you bring small bills for them as well. We then decided to go change our clothes and then do a little bit of shopping. We were next door to the shopping center, so we decided to do a little shopping in the shopping center, and we decided to also grab lunch as well. So it was cool actually to see, compare their clothes prices to U.S. clothes prices, and I do wish I would have gotten, they had this pretty dress that was really nice. And then we decided to hop around and go to Gethsemane. This is where you see all the colorful walls in Cartagena. You probably see a lot of the TikToks there. Again, one thing I want to reiterate, make sure you have small cash. We did not have any cash on us while we were here. And I felt really bad because this is where the infamous rappers are, etc. And, I did want to give them cash. However, I did not bring any cash while we were out. I only had a card. So a lot of us, we did a lot of walking around, just viewing and taking pictures. But just keep in mind, you do need cash and they are going to hassle you to tip. So all you have to say also is no gracias, which is no thank you in Spanish. Which brings me to my second tip. Please make sure that you know some level of basic Spanish. Most of the people speak pequeño English, which means that they speak a little bit of English, and there is an expectation, right? Most of them will use Google Translate. So as long as you have your Google Translate. But what I will say, even if you've been in any country, try to learn some level of their basic English. This is an example of him selling.
Good guy. like it. Hey. Where you from?
DC.
My family is California, Nucama.
Oh,
Welcome to my country.
gracias.
One thing I will say that I appreciate is just the art and the colorfulness of the city and just the fruit. Oh my goodness, I got to try different fruit here. I have to figure out what that fruit is called, but it was just a beautiful experience that I got to. And this is walking down the little trailway. This is us. We stopped to grab a drink, and this is just such a beautiful setup. It was, I will tell you, it was extremely hot. The temperature is really hot. So bring, we're in, we went, this is in April, bring cool clothes. Anything that is cool, I would suggest that your clothing is cool.
Assim não é.
So day 3, what we decided to do, we decided to go to Palenque. Palenque is of the free black town in Colombia. And in Palenque, this is where you see the women with the colorful dresses. And it was just such a beautiful experience to get to take pictures with them, to learn their history, to learn the language. We got to learn some of the language there as well. And what we learned is it's a merge between, I believe, French and Spanish, if I'm not mistaken. But this was a full activity style day where we walked through this town and really got to learn the town and their language and pretty much what they do, in particular their day-to-day in this town. So the second thing that we got to do, we got to do a few activities. We got to see how their houses were built in this town. We also got to see, we got to box in here. We actually got to play the drums here, and this is where you'll get to see us playing music. So we got a chance to play our own music in here, and it was a pretty fun experience. And then here we got to box, so we learned from the trainer here, and it was a pretty cool experience. I would say that this was one of my top things that I did during my trip in Cartagena, because we got to really experience black culture in a different fashion, in a different form, and really them just being proud to see black American people. And I think us being proud to also learn about their culture and their language. And this excursion came with food, fish. I was a huge fan of the fish the entire time. If you go to Cartagena, please get the fish. The fish is so great. And so this is us ending out the day there, and this is again their murals of just being black. And so we got to really experience that. Afterwards, we decided to go to the pool in the hotel and just had a great, this was just one of those moments where it was just like, I'm on a TV show. Here's my story, here's my TV show, and action, right? It was pretty much the idea, like, you had a horrible month, and then here's the action part of it, the highlight of it. And so I really do, this was just a beautiful moment. And the pool actually has bar food as well. I think I got fish and chips, and that was even good. And then last but not least, I decided to go to, I think it's called Baru. The water was so blue. It's about an hour from Cartagena. And what I will tell you again, you'll have people trying to, ask you to do services. I just said no gracias. And in this moment, again, it felt like I was just on a TV show. that this wasn't my life, but in the middle of the ocean, I just started crying. Just, obviously missing my sister, but I think this idea of as much as you try to avoid the realities of life, you cannot. And so I am deciding, as I was reading my book that black girls must have it all, deciding to dance with the storms, right? And dance in this moment and enjoy this moment no matter what I am going through. And it's my TV show right now.